Alright guys, welcome to my YouTube video. My name is Pasha and today I'm going to be driving for UberEats for 8 hours. This is to give comparison to somebody who works regular 8-hour shifts, and I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. So right now we're going to reset the trip odometer just like we always do, and that is good. I'm gonna go fill up with gas before the trips. A few moments later, just got gas and also went online while I was waiting on the vehicle to fill up. We're just gonna be waiting on our first trip. It's 11:05 right now. Let's see how soon we'll get our first trip. Now at this point, I just parked my vehicle and I've been sitting here waiting for a little bit. Some time has passed and no deliveries were coming in. The time is now 11:20. We haven't gotten a single request, and that shows you that this sort of income is very inconsistent. So we're just gonna keep on waiting and see how that goes for the rest of the day. 3 minutes has passed. All right, we got our first trip request. Time now is 11:23. We're gonna pick it up. It's about 20 minutes for this trip. Now, when I say that it's 20 minutes, that's my rough estimate on how long it will take me to get to the restaurant, pick up the food, and to get the food delivered to the person. So we just got to the first pickup of the day. I'm gonna go get it real quick, and I'll be right back. We got our order. I'm gonna go drop it off and get back on the road for the next one. We were getting very close to the drop-off location, and we still don't have any new requests. As I've been driving more, I have noticed that I've been delivering to the same people, and in a sense, you basically have some regulars, and navigation becomes extremely easy because you basically go into the same places. Kind of an interesting observation, I suppose. Now at this point, I dropped off the food and went back to the same area where I was at originally, because that's where I know it gets busy most of the time, and I just parked and had to wait for a fairly long time. And we got a second request. It's 11:50 and we're only on a second request right now, but the pickup is extremely close, so that might be nice. And we are at the pickup spot. And we are off to go get it dropped off. What I like to do in between deliveries, or in the middle of them, is to have some sort of podcast playing in the background so that I can actually catch up on some maybe news or just useful information. It helps you to be more efficient on things you do in your everyday life, because it's, in a sense, multitasking and you can do multiple things at a time. It's good to have a solid base of podcasts and music that you like to listen to, because it would keep you kind of more engaged and more active. All right, we are at our drop-off location. I'm gonna go drop off the food and be right back real quick. So after dropping off the food, I realized that the day is going very slow, and driving back to the area I usually would make probably no sense. And then I received a request from Uber I have never seen before. Sometimes Uber would have certain specific zones they want you to be in. They would call them surge, and just like in this case, they would pay you extra money. It could be any amount, honestly, but where we are right now, it's $1.43, which means that for the next trip that comes when we are here, we would get an extra $1.43 added to it. So we got to the surge zone, and by the looks of it, the area that I'm in is also going to be paying a time and a half off of base fare, meaning that this is a pretty decent place to be in at the moment. So let's just sit here and wait and see how long it would take to receive our next trip. It's 12:18 p.m. right now, and I'm gonna catch up on some YouTube videos while I wait. So I sat down and watched a YouTube video. I took about 7 minutes until I got my next request, which isn't too bad, but it shows that the day was very slow. So we got our next request. It's taken us really far away. We got our surge order, and we're taking it all the way half an hour away from here. Hopefully the payment for it would be worth it, but we shall see. We finally got to the area of the drop-off. I'm gonna go take it to the customer real quick, and we'll see how much this trip earned us before the tips. And on this trip, we just earned $10.88. Now fast forward. So we finally got our fourth trip of the day. We've been online for 2 hours and 10 minutes. So the day is definitely slower than usual, but we should see how much income we'll generate. Got our fourth pickup. Let's go and get it dropped off real quick. So at this point, I was getting pretty frustrated, and I didn't record a video of me getting a new request. So I just kind of drove over there and recorded from this point on. All right, gonna go pick it up real quick. All right, we got this delivery picked up. We got the quest completed for the smaller portion of it. Received an extra $8 on top of regular earnings, which is nice. Just gonna try to squeeze 2 more deliveries in before 2, and it's 1:37 right now. Today it's a lot slower than it was last time. I am roughly getting half the amount of deliveries in the same amount of time. But money-wise, it seems to be fairly consistent with the previous day. As I got to the place, the customer's notes said to wait downstairs, and this is where this clip takes place. Now we are just waiting on the customer to come down to pick up his food. Hopefully he'll be here soon enough so that we can sneak 1 more delivery in to get that extra $7. Alrighty.
How you doing?
I'm good. You too. We just need 1 more delivery this morning so that I can receive an extra $7 tip. And I really want it. So we're gonna hope that I'm gonna get it. We got 1 more of those surge area zones, but I'm not sure if we're gonna get a delivery within the next 4 minutes, because that's what I needed to secure the pickup in time. Got 3 minutes left. If I don't get one in the next 3 minutes, I'm gonna probably call it quits. Less than a minute left. I'm staying hopeful. We didn't get it. And we just got one. 1 minute too late. Now at this point I was pretty frustrated, but I decided to stay online and actually try to continue the day and see how it would go. And as you would see later in the video, it might have been a good day. Now the area I was in at this point was really bad, and I decided that it's time to leave, and that is also the reason why I did not record any drop-off clips. Sometimes it's better to turn off an app and go to a better area, which is what I'm gonna go and do now. Now the area I was in wasn't necessarily the best, to say the least. So for my personal safety's sake and to maintain my levels of income, I decided to go back towards the zone where I live, because the houses are a little nicer and the deliveries are more consistent as more people order takeout to their home. And in this case, it's more beneficial for me to turn off the app when I was in a kind of not the greatest area, to just get on the road and spend some time offline to drive towards where I usually work. One of the reasons I don't like driving in downtown is because there are people who decide to just walk into the middle of the road where they're not even supposed to be. You can see right here. And then they try to just get stuff from you, which is honestly very frustrating. It's also very important to stay hydrated while you're driving because you can get kind of carried away and you tend to forget about essential needs until you like really have to do it. So stay hydrated.
So at this point, I got to my area and went back online and got a request pretty much instantly. So I decided to go and drop it off.
Just got one more delivery request. Gonna go pick it up and drop it off, obviously.
So at this point, the request was to wait outside and give the bag to the customer whenever he comes down, which is what I did.
So, how you doing? Take it easy.
Couple of moments has passed.
Time now is 2:57. I'm on my way to pick up my 8th trip. It's a pretty slow day, but it's fairly consistent slow. So right now I'm doing a dual pickup, meaning I pick up from one restaurant, then I go to another restaurant and pick up from there. It's usually much better for the amount of trips if you're doing a quest, but money-wise, it's actually about the same.
Teleporting to the next scene.
Be right back. So we just finished the delivery of the first one. Now we're on the way to get the second one dropped off, and that's only going to be 3 minutes. I have your UberEats delivery.
Thanks. Take it easy. Have a good day.
That was an interesting delivery, but it's done now, and we're on the way to go and get the next one. So for 3 hours that I was online for this morning, I've made $76.22. Now, the profit margin is a little bit higher because I've spent less gas since I've driven less in combined distance. And altogether, my profit is actually roughly 5 cents more than what it was on 12 trips on a previous video. So altogether, it makes sense. It's still pretty consistent, even though I've driven half the trips that I've driven before.
Now at this point, since I was in my area, I was thinking of going offline, but decided to stick with it just a little bit more to see maybe it would be pretty decent and not worth going offline at all.
So the time now is 4:40 p.m. and I've earned $134.04. So I've decided not to go offline for at least one more delivery, just to kind of keep myself closer to a 6-hour online mark. All right, just picked up another order. I'm going to deliver it now. It's pretty big. I mean, 2 full boxes. I'd assume it's about $100 order. So the tips might be good on it.
And the tips were actually really good on it.
So for the second quest of the day, we got to complete 5 trips for $15 extra on top, which would be really nice. It gives us 5 hours to do that, which with the way that things are going right now, we'll definitely have it done probably by 8 p.m. So the time now is 5:52. We're sitting at $167.60. I drove 175 miles, which is quite a lot, honestly. And I'm just waiting on the order to get dropped off. I'll probably do about 6 more and then I'll head home.
At this point, I decided to give Uber a call because of the quest that was earlier in the day. I didn't feel right about it, and by looking at the times I've picked it up, I actually should have had all the deliveries count towards it. And to my surprise, when I called in and they looked into my account, they decided that yes, it was an error on their end, and they fixed it and gave me that extra $7 I was missing from the previous quest.
Time is 6:09. I'm picking up 2 orders. One I already have in my possession. The second one I'm going to right now. It's going to take me pretty far away from here, but we shall make a pretty decent income on this trip. I'm currently on the way to drop off that second delivery I was picking up. And the total for the day right now is $197.77 at 6:40 p.m. It's important, as you may see, to pull into the proper parking lot, because if you don't, you may have to run under the rain because it's just gonna take you too long and too much of driving to get back into the right place. So I'm on my way to pick up my last delivery of the day, which would help me complete the quest for the second half of the day. We are 2 minutes away. I'm pretty close to home. Hopefully that delivery takes me even closer. Right now I'm about 15 minutes of driving from home, so it's not too bad, but it would be much nicer if I could just get directly to home from here. On this previous delivery, by the way, we received a $1 cash tip, which is pretty uncommon for somebody to tip in cash. All right, I believe we have our final delivery of the day. It's sadly not taking me closer to home rather than taking me a little further away. The drive itself is 15 minutes, but I'm gonna be 5 minutes further away from home. So it's not too bad, but not ideal. And hopefully this trip would take us over that 5-trip limit. They might not count it. If they don't, I'll pick up one more. But if they do, then that would be it for the day. I just finished my last delivery of the day since it got counted towards the quest, sitting at $224.35 as of right now. And I'm gonna call it a day, considering that it's raining outside. I don't really want to be out in the water. And I've been online for 7 hours and 52 minutes. I'll get back to you with a final breakdown and kind of a summary of the day from my home.
Well, that was a very productive day, and probably the question you're all asking right now is, how much did I make throughout the whole day? And the total number is $247.89, out of which $99.50 was tips. And as you can see on this screenshot, it was a pretty decent day. It was a total of 8 hours and 30 minutes on the dot from the moment I left my home to the moment I got back, which was really nice. And it should give you a good comparison to your regular 8-hour scheduled shifts, since it takes some time to get to the job and it takes time to get back home. And assuming it's a 15-minute drive, this would be an equal comparison. Now, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. They both help me understand what to do next. And consider subscribing if you like my content. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a great day.